action. At the end of the recent month of Ramadan, May 2021, began with the actions beyond the humanitarian limits of the Zionist regime's military not only violate international law, but also continue the operation of the Palestinians. Those issues received a warm response around the world, not just within Muslims. In fact, we also want to know more about everything related to Palestine, such as the Islamic resistance movement Hamas and the organization of Hamas leaders such as Syeikh Ahmad Yassin. One of the former leaders of Hamas, Syeikh Ahmad Yassin, is now the talk of many people. Perhaps in the past he was unknown, but since the Palestinian conflict with Israel at the end of Ramadan, Syeikh Ahmad Yassin's personality in his leadership as the leader of Hamas has been an example and amazement to the world community. The interesting about the issue of Syeikh Ahmad Yassin is Israelis were afraid of him. Syeikh Ahmad Yassin suffered a spinal cord injury when he was 12 years old, and his neck had to be cemented for 45 days. He was lame and paralyzed and had to use a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Although he is a lame man, but he can be a leader to a large organization. Furthermore, all people around the world were also amazed by him because of his high fighting spirit in defending the Islamic land.
Once upon a time, Palestine is a white country that have many peoples. Nowadays, have been conquered by Jews, and an illegal state named Israel was established. And since then, until now, the war between Israel and Palestine always happen. In 1967, a war has happened in 6 days. It gave a big impact to Palestinian peoples as the West Bank and Gaza have been conquered by the Jewish people. This domination has caused Israel began to dominate Palestine. Israel peoples expelled the Palestinian peoples from their home. To defend their land, Palestinian peoples took an initiative by establishing a movement named Harakat al-Muqawwamat al-Islamiyah, or as known as Hamas. This movement was established by Syeikh Ahmad Yassin. This movement showed the rejection of Palestinian peoples to the establishment of Israel country on their land. This movement also defended the Palestinian people when they were attacked by the Israel armies. In 1980, Hamas not established yet, but a movement named Intifada 1 was established. The purpose for this movement was to liberate Palestine from Israel domination. This movement lasted until 1993 due to the Oslo Agreement that demand peace and allowed the Israeli peoples to live in Palestine. Even this agreement was agreed by both sides, but Israeli peoples oppressed the Palestinian peoples. It is the turning point for the Intifada movement establishment that using stones to against the Israel armies. From this movement, Hamas was established. The purpose of the establishment of Hamas are to show the rejection of Palestinian peoples to Israel. For them, Israel is just outsider and should be expelled from their country. These discriminating policies pursued by Israel also make Palestinian people think they should take their land back. In their country, they become slaves for development projects that have been developed by Israeli peoples with the cheap salary.
How to solve the issue? The cruelty perpetrated by Israel against Palestine should have been prohibited a long time ago, but due to supporters from various countries, it has allowed them to become cruel without being cared about someone. There are few methods that should be applied for everyone to stop this cruelty. Firstly, boycott product of Israel. Boycott the investment sanction is a global movement that trying to raise awareness and spread the news that everyone should stop buying products from Israel. Next, spread awareness about Israel violence. The operation began last Ramadan, made everyone over the world realize the cruelty that had been done by Israel. The more Israel tried to fake the news, the more solidarity happened over the world. Lastly, cyber attacks towards Israel. People nowadays use the social media throughout their day, so it's easy to spread awareness using social media. During last Ramadan, hackers from Malaysia successfully hacked some CCTV from Israel, and it showed that their citizens are just relaxing at their house.
Chapter 4 Leaders Toolkit. Like love, leadership is universal yet hard to clearly describe. The concept of leadership as employed now has been incorporated throughout the last century into general literature and recently has only been increasingly important in the hard science. The idea of an individual charismatic leader who can recruit his followers has given way to team-based problem solving. Today, workers that shift fast between leadership and the following's role are pursuing organizational goals. As leaders, there are many toolkits that needed in their leadership towards their group. First, integrity in leadership. Integrity is the practice of being truthful and adhering to strong moral and ethical ideals and values on a consistent and unwavering basis. Integrity is defined in ethics as the honesty, veracity, or accuracy of one acts. A person lacks integrity if he or she cannot understand the difference between honest or dishonest according to common norms. This, of course, requires circumstances in which common norms are obvious. If there are unclear areas, it would not be suitable to detect a lack of integrity. Second is empathy in leadership. Empathy is the ability to emotionally grasp what other people are feeling, to see things from their perspective and to put yourself in their shoes. Essentially, it is placing yourself in the shoes of another person and feeling what they must be feeling. It promotes understanding of the core cause of poor performance. Empathy helps leaders improve and excel in their struggles. Empathy enables leaders to form and strengthen relationships.
Genuine. If you describe a person as genuine, you approve them because they are honest, truthful, and sincere in the way they live and their relationship with other people. Example, he is very caring and very genuine. Good leadership is an act of giving and bad leadership is an act of taking. People naturally more attracted to those who are genuine because they know they can trust them. It is very hard to like someone when you don't even know they truly and genuinely are and how they really feel. The type of genuine people is they say what they mean or they mean what they said. If someone, especially the leader, make commitment to their subordinates, they will keep it. Humility is the freedom from pride or arrogance, according one of the most powerful and important attributes of pro, both in and out of the ring. Being humble helps to trust and facilitate learning, which are key aspects of leadership and personal development. Humility leads to strength and not to weakness. It is the highest form of self-respect, to admit mistakes and to make amends from them. In leadership, humility is essential. Humility makes a leader able to realizing and accepting the value of everyone around them. In addition of that, the type of humility behavior is characterized are the empowerment of followers to learn and development, acts of courage, and holding employees responsible for results. Humility is an attitude that a leader should always stick to, which means handling critical situations by undertaking humble apology to the egoistic problem stimulator.
In conclusion, Syeikh Ahmad Yassin is one of the good leaders that we must take as an example. As a leader, we must always understand and aware of the others' thoughts and feelings. We also must care for them and always ask them if they have problems or not. The leader also must be a trustworthy and honest leader. Trustworthy and honest in leadership will make everyone believe the leader and also make others comfortable with their leader. Trustworthy leader is a type of genuine leader. A good leader also pays attention to the other people's work and help them to fix it if there is an error in it. This characteristic of leader will be a leader who is liked, respects, always admired by others, and the others love to talk to him. Cause the relationship between the leader and everyone become very, very close. Finally, a good leader has an obvious vision, is authentic, and has a clear focus for his organization. All these characteristics have been shown to us by Syeikh Ahmad Yassin. That is all from us. Thank you.